Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him a... About 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20.
Let's go. 60 Pittsburgh.
Right there. 56.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Let's see what you got.
Hey, Johnson.
Right there. 54. Right there.
Here's Johnson. Space to maneuver at the 40. Room here to run. Touchdown, Carolina. A big play there with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the landed 1-2 end zone.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready? 18 Gator.
They gonna need some therapy after this.
I go. 5.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A gain there of 21 yards. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. And they'll go on the ground. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
60 outlaw.
Tackle made at the 38-yard line.
2.
Off play action. Covington. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
It's a 6-yard pickup to get him back to the original line of scrimmage with 3rd down coming up.
That's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 10.
On 3rd down. It's Person, and he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
It's 4th down.
And his kick here is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 21-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. And he rifles one incomplete. Johnson, the intended target. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Coverage was great everywhere that time. He tried to get it to his outlet, tried to get it to his running back, but sailed it a little bit too high and actually left his body open for a big hit.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
56 to Mike, boy. 56. Check 56. Let's go.
Operating from the gun. Stanley. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
Their own 22-yard line.
Ready, break.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Squeeze. Snap.
They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
They definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
Here we go. Here we go. 60 Pittsburgh.
Here we go.
On 1st down, Person. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
On just about every team, okay, forget it. On every team, the goal is to be in 3rd and what they call manageable, to give yourself a chance to pick up a 1st down. How about that call on 2nd down? The big man puts them in position to make it 3rd and manageable. I wonder if they'll get a 2nd chance at it to try and pick up the 1st down.
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Here comes the Saints punter now. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
With the score, Panthers 7, Saints 3.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. Johnson on the counter. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Hey, Charlie!
From the gun on 3rd down, Stanley. He'll find Metcalf, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 6. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Bravo! General West!
56, right there, 56. All right, here we go. Let's go, D, let's go.
From the gun, Stanley. He rifles one that's intercepted. Trevor Williams with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 10-7. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They begin the drive with Johnson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Looking to throw. Stanley. Quick hitter here. It's complete.
Stanley's pass. Complete to number 89. It's a gain of 6. And it's 3rd down.
Ready! 70, Indy. 5. Pick it out.
From the gun on 3rd down. Stanley. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
The Saints take over 1st and 10. Let's go. 15-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone. Now, that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
On the ready.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Stay with your man.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
94.
54. Watch 54. Watch the run.
Be grip.
Oh, design run for their wideout. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
2nd and 6. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Back to throw. Covington. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. 2 minutes remaining in the first half, 10-7, our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Looking to throw. Covington. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays. A good passing down here, and they send three receivers to the right of the formation on second down. Forced out to his left. He's going to take off with it. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 17-yard line. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Here's 2nd and 8. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a first down. That is caught at the 7-yard line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. The line of scrimmage once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. 2nd and 5. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Off the bootleg. Covington. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
A loss on the play brings up 4th and goal.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. And this one is right through. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Back to throw. Covington. Throw left side complete. That's Person. It'll be a gain of 6, and it's a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Hey, let's get in that hole.
Now a give right side. It's Person, and tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Here we go. 90 Wolf. 54. Watch 54. Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this. We got this.
Then he'll give it here to his running back. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Covington, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And that's the 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Hey, Orbit. Check 31, check 31. You're out. Check hot route. Hot. Let's go.
Back to throw. Covington. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. James Bradbury, he was right there to break it up. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
Check.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Covington. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Able to pick up a dozen yards there on the scramble, but not enough. 4th down.
Well, it's not going to be a 1st down, but that's a nice job of picking up yardage on 3rd and long. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you. And in this case, it wasn't enough to pick up the 1st down.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Exit. Let's go. Snap.
To throw again. Stanley going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Hey, high 7. Mike, 56 right there.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him. Find him. Find him.
He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. He's got Smith here. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people were...
And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Shaq Thompson here with a pick. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept momentum by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
3-yard gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down.
Here we go. 60 or. Man, let's get that ball. Go. 56 to Mike, boys. Let's go.
On 3rd down, Stanley into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans.
It's my ball.
So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
This will be caught at about the 5. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Hey, Haywood. Get it.
Operating from the gun. Stanley. Blitz coming, and down he goes. They went zone blitz there, obviously successful. What makes the zone blitz successful?
Well, just go ahead and let's break the term down. Zone means they're going to play zone behind them in coverage, not man-to-man. But the zone blitz, why it's confusing to offenses? Because oftentimes defensive ends or defensive tackles will drop back into coverage, and linebackers or safeties will usually fill that gap and blitz in their spot, messing up the blocking responsibilities.
It's a gain of 35.
Dance class, anyone? Did you see the steps between the quarterback and the running back on that counter play?
That's what you need for a good counter.
You have to have it because you're setting up your blocking. There's a timing element as well, but they have to marry up their steps. Otherwise, that timing gets thrown out the window.
Timing was great there and a big run. They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. 3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Panthers in possession of the football, but facing a deficit here as we get to the 4th and final quarter of play.
Ready. 50 seconds to Mike. Let's go one more. Shoot.
To throw on second down. Stanley throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
He wants it all for the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
On fourth down, Stanley nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, the Panthers turned away on fourth down, and the Saints will have the football back. The D brought the house, they called the blitz, and they get to the quarterback, overwhelming the O-line.
And I would love to know, and we'll find out later on, was that called before the play, or did they audible it?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaq Thompson in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. Here's a quick throw caught by Smith. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to give a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The Panthers on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 7.
You draw Corker. Hey, Delta. 56.
From the gun, Stanley. And pressure gets to him again. Jadeveon Clowney in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Smith. Now.
On fourth down, Stanley going for Metcalf. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. He's picked off at his own 47. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Hey, keep it up. Keep it up. Ready.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 18 there, and the Saints have a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or two if you have to. Just go down, in bounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game, and that has to drive a coach crazy.
Hey, Charlie. Right there.
Looking to throw. Covington. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. First and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front. Good blocking. Nice hole for him. Ends up picking up nice yardage. Stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
At the 7-yard line.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
Exit.
They'll try and run with their fullback. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. It's the fullback. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And the lead is now 24.
Makes the score Saints 31, Panthers 7.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now Johnson. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Back to throw. Stanley. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Boy, not deterred from those first 2 failed attempts. They're going to go a 3rd time here on 4th down.
Ready?
On fourth down, Stanley. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape.
Down. 10 Lobo.
You must be dreaming.
Shoot.
And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. So this one, a victory here for New Orleans. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you can win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you said baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that and the bats start